Blows without borders. Coming at you live from across 3 continents. Philly to Fort Hayes, Troy, and Neill. Let's do this.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Bulls Without Borders. We are here for Red Summit 33. I'm here with the OG3. And just, I'm going to introduce the boys like I always do. To my left, I've got my man out of Ireland. He is the co-host of the Six Banner podcast with yours truly. It is Neill Dunne. He also makes awesome Battlegrounds episodes that appear on this channel. Definitely check him out. How you doing today, Neill?
I'm doing great, and thanks for promoting the Battlegrounds episodes. Yeah, for anyone that hasn't caught them yet, go ahead and check them out. They're a good bit of fun. I put a lot of work into them. I'd be really, really appreciative of people checking that out. But yeah, I can't wait to talk a little bit of Bulls. We don't have too much to talk about tonight because we are in the dark days of basketball, as I have written down there. But I'm sure we'll squeeze something out.
Yeah, dudes, that's what we do best. Is we squeeze something out. To my six, I've got Australia's finest man. He is the host of the Whole Lotta Bull podcast. How are you doing today, Troy?
I'm doing good, man. Nice bright early Sunday morning for us here in the land down under. So no, it's actually I haven't been putting out much of my own content of late over the last couple of weeks. I've been a bit absent, but that cold and that pesky cough has been kicking my ass still. So but hopefully I'm past it now, and let's talk some Chicago Bulls basketball. It's been a bit for me.
I mean, I know it's been a week. You were here with me last week.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the last time I talked Bulls basketball.
Okay, hell yeah. Yeah, man. So, I mean, just a preface for everybody that does come in and watch, like, obviously we'll do our thing. We'll talk about the few topics that we do have, but it has been a pretty uneventful week as far as Bulls basketball is concerned, and we don't want to insult you or insult the people that watch us every week by rehashing the same topics. So we'll go over some of the, I guess, smaller events that did happen in Bulls basketball this week, and we'll start off by talking about Matas and Caleb running together in the open court. And I mean, there's not much as far as takeaways that you could take from it, right? But more than that, it was the feeling of just watching them play basketball together. And so I'll start with you, Troy. Talk to me. What did you think about, like, what were your thoughts when you were watching it, and like, just how did it make you feel to watch Caleb and Matas play basketball together?
Well, apparently isn't Mars going to get upset by Caleb taking the spotlight away from him? Like, isn't that going to piss Matas off? But in seriousness, it's good to see that they're already starting to build some chemistry together. Like, this is going to be the duo of the future of this franchise, along with Josh Giddey and hopefully Dalen Swain as well. But Matas and Caleb, it's really good to see them start building up that chemistry together. And you can see, like, in these videos as well, Matas has been putting in some work in the gym. Like, he is shredded. And he started to get a little bit better. A little bit bigger in terms of his physical size. But he's always going to be one of those string bean type of players. But he's definitely looking a lot stronger. So that's really good to see as well. But good to see them building that chemistry together.
Hell yeah, it was. Well, I'll give my thoughts after Neill. Neill, what did you think?
I feckin' loved it. It's great to see. We are in a position where you don't get much basketball right now. You don't have even too much to talk about. So to get little snippets like that released from a pro-am where you can see Caleb and Matas, the future of the Chicago Bulls team, this young core connecting the way they are connecting, it is everything for the future of this franchise. And I want more. Give me more of it.
More.
Yeah, dude, it was.
I need more.
I loved it, man. I got personally really excited watching them play together. Like, I know it was only a few clips, but it's just great to see, man. Like, it really feels like them already playing together feels like it might have been an intentional attempt to maybe quiet like the people from that one radio station who brought up the fact that like, oh well, Matas, you know, feels some type of way not having the spotlight on him all the time, and you know, you weren't here last week, Neill. I guess let me throw it
No.
back to you. What did you think of that? You know, the fact that you know Matas was called out for maybe not, or you know, and obviously he responded saying it's a team sport, but what do you think about the fact that they're speculating that Matas might be affected by him not having the spotlight?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be here to give my comment on it last week, but I'll tell you right now that there's only one word for that, and that's absolute bollocks. There is no way that two young kids that love the game of basketball, love to play, love to win, have that dog inside them, are going to have an issue playing together in order to achieve. That's just absolute trash. To quote Billy Donovan, take that and throw it in the trash, because it's absolutely. I know you love a Billy quote, so I said I'd throw it out there. But yeah, anyone that believes that either just wants to see things implode and fall apart, or doesn't know how to be happy and enjoy nice things when we have them.
Yeah, I would say it's a combination of both. I mean, people definitely don't know how to enjoy nice things. There are definitely people in the fan base that if they're not complaining, if one thing is silenced about something they were complaining about, all they do is move right on to the next thing. Sal, we're doing good, bro. It's good to hear. Good to see you in the chat. Sal's my
Sal.
dog.
What up, Sal?
Hell yeah. Sal, actually, I need to hit you up about the next couple weeks, actually. But all right, just putting that in my mind mentally. But yeah, man. Overall, you know, I think that it's ridiculous to think that these guys are gonna do anything except help each other be better basketball players. I think it's gonna be great, and I think there will be like some friendly competition, to see like, you know, who is the real alpha dog on the team, and maybe there doesn't end up being one. Maybe we've got two alphas. You know, like the Heat had three, that one year, but even though everyone knew it was really two. But what up, Howie? But
And was
go
it
ahead.
Layla Rahimi? Like, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce her name, but I think it was Layla Rahimi. She brought that up, and it's like, what, you know, we've got our, like I said, the future of our franchise, our duo going forward. Why are you trying to potentially create something that is 100% not there? Like, what? Why do that? What are you trying to accomplish here? Like, are you trying to get it in Martus's mind, like, oh, even though this guy's my teammate, he's actually my enemy, and I need to make sure that I'm the man over him? And what is she trying to achieve by this? I don't understand.
There is nothing to achieve by doing that.
No,
Yeah, I guess
nothing.
maybe she's been peeping how much Boston has been getting pub out of, you know, and airtime out of the Jaylen Brown Jason Tatum feud, and she's just trying to start that up.
I don't know. Look,
Ridiculous.
these two guys are competitors, right? These two guys are teammates essentially first, but they're also competitors. They're going to go at it against one another in practice, but that's where it's going to stay. That's what practice is there for. It's one of the big things about practice is the guys get to go at each other. That's how they improve. That's how they learn to work together, as well as to work different schemes out. And this is not an issue. This is not a problem. These guys are going to want to work together. They're not going to walk into the gym having just met and have an issue with each other. It's just not the way it works. I have absolutely no problem, no fear, no worries at all that these two guys are not going to hit it off.
And like, does she really think that Martus doesn't want another star player alongside of him to help carry this responsibility and get this team back to where we all hope it can go and will go? Like,
Exactly. Like, he knows he can't. I don't think Matas is at a level where he thinks like, yeah, dude, put it all on me. I'll take us to the chip. Like, you know,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think, you know, and honestly, like, I think that Caleb Wilson will end up being like the true superstar on this team. But I definitely wouldn't count Matas out. Like I think that Matas, if anything, like how good Caleb is and how hard he works is only going to push Matas to go that much harder. You know, because
and what you want to see.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Phil. Like what you want to see between them is like you guys have basically already mentioned, like these two going at each other in practice to improve. We saw Michael and Scotty going at it in practice. That's how Scotty became the legend that he is as well. Like because these two guys just went at each other, made themselves better, all for the good of the team. So it can only be good. It can only be good things. Like these two are going to compete. They're going to compete against each other for the betterment of this team going forward.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. Yeah, and then everybody make sure you leave that any questions you have in the comments, and we'll answer them at the end. But to move along there isn't a lot to take from the pro-am, but it was just really exciting to see them, especially like Matas already throwing an oop to Caleb. It's like, all right, yeah, boys, get used to that. Get that timing down. Figure out when you got to throw that and all those things. I was gonna say like they were playing against nobodies, but then I seen Taco Fall out there
again.
Taco Fall
playing against nobodies. Playing against nobodies, Phil. That includes Taco Fall.
He at least offers a little resistance at the rim. I mean, it's at least a 7 foot something guy you got to dunk on. Caleb did have an N1 layup on him, which was pretty tight.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, like we got to see Taco Fall here playing for New Zealand Breakers, and like, yeah, he was getting 3 or 4 blocks a game and stuff, but like, it's the NBL. Like, as great as our league is, it was not NBA level. So,
yeah, that's fair. I mean, we'll move on from this. I wanted to talk also about I'm losing my thought process here. Bill Simmons. We'll talk about the Lonzo Ball interview too, but I want to talk real quick about Bill Simmons. That way, I mean, it is in the title of the episode, and also I put it. Well, you can't see it right now, I think, because of the poll, but it was my sub headline. So Bill Simmons said that if he was a Bulls fan, he would have no sperm left, because he would have ejaculated in every room in his house. What do you think about that?
All right, right now I'm thinking the perfect thing that's missing for this podcast is that still image of Randy out of South Park. It's spooky ghost. It was a spooky ghost. missing that image. Like that would have been perfect for this right now. But yeah, Bill Simmons is a weird dude. He is odd. To say something like that, okay, yes, Bulls fans should absolutely be excited, but to say that, yeah, I'm just gonna move on and pretend I never heard it. Neill, all yours, mate.
Yeah, there's not much to say about it, really, is there? I mean, there's a way to word things and still hold a certain credibility, yeah, but there's also a way to word things and come across as funny, and he managed to hit neither one of those notes. He managed to just come across as strange, bizarre, and a little bit off. But, there we go.
Yeah, maybe it's just the fact that he's like real sweaty when he's like doing those. He's like looking at the camera. I don't know, dude. It's just the way he looks. I don't know, but yeah. And it's also the fact that we talked about this off screen. It's the fact that he said sperm.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna make a joke like that, Bill Simmons, let me coach you up a little bit, dude. You got to come up with something funnier than use the word jizz or use the word creamed or something. You said you managed to use the two oldest, most grandparent ass phrases for that in sperm and ejaculate. There'd be ejaculate in all of the rooms in his house. It's like, come on, dude. There's no. He didn't set it up at all. You're right. It didn't come across funny. It just came across like shock value, I guess.
I guess.
It
didn't land very well for me anyway.
No. Yeah, I thought that his guest was actually funnier because his guest said, "Yeah, you need a jizz room," and I was like, I kind of chuckled at that, but like, but Bill Simmons, yeah, just no bueno, bro. No bueno. I just wanted to bring it up because I thought it was pretty funny. I just did not have that on my bingo card. Bill Simmons talking about Caleb Wilson making him empty his bowels. Yeah. I don't know. We'll move on, though. Lonzo Ball had Matas Buzelis on his podcast, and that was a little bit informative. I mean, not a very long episode for anybody who was actually curious. It was only like a 38-minute episode on YouTube. I would encourage you to go listen to it. I listened to it last night, and it was pretty good. But, not to hark back on somebody who doesn't work here anymore, but it kind of does reinforce some of the points that we've talked about on this podcast. One of them being that, Lonzo Ball was the one to tell the story this time about talking about how the mid-range, Matas took a step back mid-range jumper, missed it normally, and then Billy Donovan lost his shit and said that he needs to throw that shit in the trash. So I would like to know, how does it feel knowing that guy isn't coaching the Bulls anymore? And are you hoping that there's more of a mid-range emphasis with this year's Bulls team, or at the very least, the players feel like they can take any shot without getting ripped in film for doing that? Troy?
Yeah, it's a massive relief that, on the assumption that Tiago is going to allow the players to use their entire their entire repertoire, to use Marv Albert's terminology. You want to see like Lonzo said and Marta said, it was a perfectly normal, good mid-range jump shot. He just happened to miss it on this occasion. And for Billy Donovan to tell him to ball that shit up and throw it in the trash, it's like, Billy, how about you take your advice, ball that up and throw that shit in the trash? Because one thing I always like to teach the younger players when I have my time as coaching juniors is that, especially with my own boys, is that you need to be able to score from all over the court. So you need to be able to score in the paint. You need to be able to score in the mid-range. You need to be able to at least be a threat from beyond the arc, because that's going to make you a much more dynamic and unpredictable scorer. I won't say unstoppable, but I'll say unpredictable. You're going to keep the defenses guessing on where you're going to score from, because if you can score from everywhere on the floor, the defense doesn't know what to do. Because by taking away the mid-range from Martis or from any single player on the team, as a defender, guess what? You've just become easier for me to guard. You're either taking the 3-point shot or you're driving to the basket. Now you're much easier to defend. Now call that my old school mentality. That's probably, it is what it is. I know the NBA has changed, but it doesn't mean it's changed for the better. I know C-Red Fred brought up with me on Twitter, but DeMar DeRozan, but he shot it at a 48% clip, and it's like, yeah, cool. Yes, he was the master of the mid-range, but with Martis or any other player, but Martis is the topic at hand here. He can't get better at the mid-range game if he's not being allowed to do that in actual games. He can practice it till he's blue in the face in private workouts, in team practices, but he's not going to be able to get better at it in game unless he's taking that shot in game. So I know I just hope Tiago will allow, if Tiago sees that Martis can score in the mid range, that he's going to be able to allow Martis to be able to take that shot. And I'm not saying it needs to be a massive part of the offense. I don't think any of us will say it's going to be a massive part of the offense, but it does need to be part of it. So I know we'll see what happens.
I love it. I love the answer. Neill, what did you think?
Okay, the most potent scorers and players in the history of the NBA are 3-level scorers, right? Mm-hmm. Plain and simple. I mean, the first two greats that come to mind for me when I think of the greatest players to ever play this game are Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And both of them were 3-level scorers and lethal in the mid-range. So just because Steph Curry came along and changed the face of the NBA and became equally lethal from the 3-point line doesn't mean that every other player starts to abandon the mid-range. And I think that we're going to see a shift in the NBA where it won't become so three-point dedicated as the next few years move on. And I think it's going to roll back a little bit to more of a mid-range game as well. And, you know, to coin a phrase that I've heard many times, I've heard you use it many times, Phil, and that's the best shot is the one that goes in, whether that's from under the bucket, in the wing, on at the mid-range, from the elbow, at the three-point line, hell, from the halfway line, wherever it's shot from, the best shot is the one that falls through the bucket.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
man. That's a fact. Like, I mean, you can think of so many players. I mean, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, just players that dominated from the mid-range. And in my opinion, like, you don't have to be that good to be allowed. You shouldn't have to be that good to be allowed to take a mid-range jumper. If it's in the, you know, flow of the offense, you got yourself an open look, take it. Like, having to step back to shoot a three, I just don't agree with them with that. I guess that what's the word I'm looking for? Like that
Philosophy.
Yeah, philosophy is like, yeah, it's only threes or layups. Like, I just think that limits you. It limits what you're doing on the basketball floor. It makes you more predictable, easier to defend, in my opinion. I just don't believe in it, and I think it really limits the development of these basketball players. I mean, Lonzo Ball was right there, and I like to think that he knows a little bit about basketball, and he was basically like, yeah, Matas was basically on a leash. And when I hear that, I'm hearing that he was allowed to be half or 75% or whatever of what he could be, and that's frustrating. I will say, like, I seen, I mean, Howie, I appreciate you being in the chat, dude. I gotta strongly disagree with your assessment of Matas Buzelis being a championship sixth man. I mean, we'll see what happens, dude, but Matas averaged 18 and a half points a game last year after the trade deadline. And he was like 20 years old. 21 maybe? I think he was 20 though. Like, dude, the potential of that player is sky high. He averaged 18 and a half after the trade deadline. Like, you got to imagine with 5 more years of development, which is how many years he's got until he's in his prime again. Like, I believe that this is a player that could average 25 a game, 23 at least, 23 at least, we'll say. And if he's averaging that, then he's also a top defensive player. He played that way last year, being top 10 in blocks and being, number 1 in isolation defense. So we'll have to see what happens. We haven't had a good team. And so it's kind of tough to make, it's hard for me to defend it. It's hard for me to say, well, Matas could be the second best player on a championship team. I think Caleb definitely could be the best player on a championship team, though. It's the potential he's already shown. I don't see why he can't be. This is a guy he's got 8 years of development before he's in his athletic prime, they say. And he's already looking pretty damn good. So, we'll have to see it on the floor, and it's going to have to show up in the W column. It's easy to make these statements that I make when the Bulls aren't, they're not going to have a chance to, win anything. I'd like to see this team build it to being a team that can get to the playoffs so we can truly assess how good these players really are, because that's where you find out. You can't really, you can do all the shit in the world in the regular season. You find out how good the players really are when the chips are down and the season's on the line and a championship is being fought for. So, because we've even seen like regular season MVPs melt down in the playoffs, and they don't ultimately stand the test of time, like in when it comes to NBA history. I mean, how many people are going to put Steve Nash up there with the best of all time?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's very many, So,
yeah, for a 2-time MVP, like, he's quite often overlooked as one of the best point guards of all time. Very often overlooked. And
probably
for good reason.
I mean, so like Howie has a point saying, yeah, 18.5 on a garbage team. Right, that's true, but I think he's got the potential to do that on a good team too. It's just, it is what it is. We'll have to see it. I believe in those players. I don't think we were garbage because of Matas Buzelis. I think we were garbage because we didn't build it. I mean, we haven't had interior defense on this team in years. We had no interior defense on this team for many years.
Yeah.
I mean,
his point here that Kobe White was our number one and then became the sixth man for the Hornets. Yeah, that's absolutely true. But Kobe White and Matas Buzelis are very, very different players. Plus, Kobe White had already developed more or less into the player he was going to become and is going to be around in his prime. Whereas, Matas and Caleb are both at the very, very start of their careers. They're only on an upward trajectory. Plus, this team looks very, very different now than it did last season. And it's built around their style of play and the kind of players that they are, being a defensive mindset that we're going to get from Thiago Splitter, the players that can play in a defensive scheme. Plus, we've still got this youth and athleticism that can run the floor alongside Giddey. I think you're going to be surprised by how, not necessarily successful, but how good this team can look.
And like just on that as well, like, okay, Kobe was the number one on this team and goes to Charlotte and is the sixth man of the year. Okay, so Kobe's in what, year 6 or 7 now of his career? He's 25 years old? He's here. Matas Buzelis is 20 years old. Year 2, he is here. Matas is going to be, he's only going to get better, but let's see where Matas is at by the time he turns what the age that Kobe's at now and compare them. I'm sorry. I think
Matas.
Hey, I'm not saying that Matas is going to be I'm not going to say Matas is going to be an absolute superstar, but to say that he's going to be the sixth man at best on a championship level team, I disagree. And Anthony, thank you for pointing out it was Ruth Ipolinsky who was talking about the Caleb Wilson, Matas Buzelis thing, not Layla Rahimi. So thanks, Anthony.
They look a little bit similar. I could see why you made that mistake, but yeah, no, I mean, and also like to add to that, like Kobe White, I think he was beloved because he was, obviously the only good player we had during some dark times. I just don't think that he's a winning player. He doesn't play defense either. I mean, he was our number one guy, I guess, in terms of points per game, but he regressed on a number of occasions. Streaky as hell. Wasn't consistent by any means. Io was a better player, if you ask me, but Io, and then he went to the Timberwolves, right, and dropped 43 in the playoffs. So, like, I mean, Io just got paid $27 million a year. So, to say that those guys aren't good players, like, and yeah, Kobe is going to start for the Hornets this year. Now that Melo's not there, I would imagine he's going to start for the Hornets.
But what they'll find in Charlotte quite quickly is what we found in Chicago is Kobe doesn't start playing basketball till November, December. He always starts really slow, really, really bad at getting out of that gate. And by the time November, December comes around, he starts playing better basketball. But no, he's a slow start.
But then he's streaky as hell.
Streaky, yeah.
I it's just my opinion, but I think that Matas will be a far better player than Kobe White when it's all said and done. When you compare the two, I mean, Matas is already far beyond the defensive player that Kobe ever was, and he will be a better scorer, a more consistent scorer, in my opinion. So the only thing that can prove my or any of our projections right is the test of time. We need the Bulls to get good. I do think that Norman Powell stands a good chance to be our best player this year. But I wouldn't put it past Caleb Wilson to give him a run for his money. I think Caleb is going to have the green light. Caleb will have the green light.
Just looking at Charlotte's roster, I don't necessarily. Now, I'm not saying I'm right here. I'm just speculating. I don't necessarily pencil in Kobe White as a starter for Charlotte, because you look at their roster at the moment. Like he could absolutely be a starter at point guard. but you could also potentially start Nipple and Grayson Allen in the backcourt, and then you got Brandon Miller at the 3. So Bryson Graham. Grayson Allen brings in that backcourt, defender. As much as of a dipshit he is, he's going to bring the defense for that backcourt in Charlotte. Because if you start Nipple and Kobe White, where's the defense?
Who's a bad defender? Matas?
Saying Matas and Kobe are both bad defenders. I'm sorry.
That's
Matas is a
terrible
bad
opinion.
Defender.
He
was the number
opinion.
1 isolation defender in the NBA last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Top
go look at the
block.
percentages.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He allowed less isolation points per isolation than any other player in the NBA, and he was top 10 in blocks.
Yeah, I mean his recovery defense with like blocks wise is superb as well, and he's only learning. He's it's all good and well saying at 8 different ages between Kobe White and Matas Buzelis scored a certain amount of points, but how many years was Kobe White in the league compared to Buzelis? Buzelis, he's at the start of his career, man.
Yeah. I mean, look, dude, at this point, we'll just have to we're going to have to let it play out. And Matas and Caleb are going to have to be the best players on a good basketball team for people to stop saying things like this. Yeah. For a lot of people, it's the fact that the Bulls aren't good. Mm-hmm. And so the fact, the thought is that there can't be actually really good players on this team or else the Bulls would be really good. I just disagree. There's so much that goes into putting a winning basketball team together. You've really got to be 8 to 10 men deep on a team that plays great defense. The Bulls haven't been given those tools. They've had maybe 2 or 3 good defenders on the entire team last year, especially after the trade deadline. We'll just have to see it happen. We'll see what happens. I guess we shouldn't argue semantics, but
no, and I get it. There's a lot of PTSD still out there, and we're at the stage now where fans need to see it happening on the floor before they start to actually believe it, because we've all bought in so many times in the past in words, and words are not the same as actually seeing it play out on the floor. We need to actually witness it. I think a lot of us as fans, because we're hurting. We've been hurt so many times.
All right,
I'll find that ISO graphic, that shows that he was number 1 or whatever. I'll find that graphic and post it on our Twitter.
I've seen on Twitter as well something like at Stat Defender on Twitter. I can't see what day. Oh, this was posted on July 22nd. Fewest points per possession given up guarding ISOs in the 25-26 NBA regular season. Minimum 50 total ISO possessions guarded. Number 1 in the league was Jalen Dunne at 0.61. Number 2 in the league, Matas Buzelis at 0.66.
Yes, sir. I think the what we're defending at the end of the day is that Matas has the potential to be a very, very good player, and I think by the time he's reached his maturity, like 27, 28 years old, I fully believe he could be the number 2 player on a championship level team. I maybe number 3, maybe I'm wrong, but I just think that he has all the potential in the world. I don't think there's any reason to limit him. He clearly has the work ethic, and he clearly has the desire to play 2 ways, which I think goes a long way towards talking about the best players. It's not something that we talk about enough, because there are a lot of players in the top, everyone throws Luka up there in the top 5, but that boy ain't played a look of defense in his life. So
here's a screenshot of what I just looked at. So let me see if I can pull that up. There we go. That's what I was just reading from. So you got Jalen Dunne number 1, Matas Buzelis number 2, Cooper Flagg 3, Durant 4. So
James Harden being
I'm
7
sure this is not necessarily the original stat that we were talking about to start with. I'm sure there's another one out there, but hey, there's those numbers for you.
He's also top 10 in blocks. I guess that does that mean anything to people? Top 10 in blocks in year 2. before you can even order a beer at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Not in Australia. Hey, as soon as
Yeah,
you turn
not in
18
Ireland
in
either. He
Australia,
can drink in Ireland. He can drink in
In
Ireland.
America, where he
Hey.
plays basketball, he has
hey,
to,
Josh Giddey needs to
not-
bring Caleb and Martis down to Australia. That way they can have a beer.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that blocks meant something. I just, to the idea that Matas is a bad defender, at the very least, he's average. At the very least, but he's top 10 in blocks, good at guarding, one-on-one. I don't know. Does he need to be stronger? If he was going to guard power forwards for the rest of his career, then I would say maybe he'd be worse off. But guarding at small forward, he's perfect. Like, he doesn't need to be. I mean, I guess he can stand to gain a little more muscle, of course, but I think he's just fine for his position, guarding at that position. If he's going to guard
totally
people
fine.
at power forward, it'd be much different. But and this is where I'm at with it too. It's just, I think he's got to add. I think he's going to get much better. That's why I believe in Matas. Is because I believe that there's a lot of meat left on that bone. I don't think he's even close to having reached his ceiling, and I just don't think there's a reason to limit the guy. Like, as long as he keeps putting the work in, and by all signs, he's got he's got the work ethic. He's coachable. He doesn't have like a crazy ego where like nobody can tell him what's up. Like, he's not Jaylen Brown. He doesn't think he's the smartest man in the room. I'm just making a joke on that one, but that actually is a good segue. And we've kind of exhausted a lot of what happened with the Bulls basketball this week, but I did want to talk about one last thing, and it's only because I want to talk about somebody. And LeBron James is a Philadelphia 76er. I would like to know. Yeah, no, just let me get your uncensored opinions. Neill, talk to me about. Yeah, let me talk to me about LeBron. Yeah.
Okay. Right. First and foremost, my least favorite thing to do with anything to do with basketball is talk about LeBron James, right? But
even when you're
seeing as look, I'm not disputing the fact that he's not a great basketball player and has had a fantastic career. I've never disputed that. I will never dispute that. But I cannot stand the guy. He's a muppet. He is such an attention-seeking little baba, and he has done it again. To hold Adam Silver to ransom with the schedule is just stupid. And to go ring chasing again to try and cement his position in the all-time greatest players list is infantile. I cannot stand the guy. I can't wait for him to retire. And now, by all accounts, we're stuck with him for another 2 feckin' years.
Yeah. 2 more years of LeBron. Hey, but like, okay, wait. I'll give my piece last. What do you think, Troy?
Man, all right. This is Balls Without Borders. We're not sponsored by anyone, so we're not at a threat at losing money. Who gives a flying fuck what LeBron James is doing for the next 2 fucking years? Like, I'm glad this is finally fucking done because I'm sick of hearing this fucking shit about LeBron goddamn fucking James. Like, man's such a little fucking bitch. Team hops from, like, he can't win a championship by developing his own fucking teammates. Unlike Michael Jordan, the GOAT, he needs to go to a team that's got ready-made fucking superstars so he can even compete for a title. He goes to fucking Miami and joins two ready. Now, someone on Twitter wants to go, oh, but look at the winning percentages. Look at their records before LeBron got there. It's like, look at the teammates he fucking joined in these teams. Dwayne Wade, already a fucking superstar. They bring in Chris Bosh, already a fucking superstar. Then they go on that whole tirade, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. You get to the finals 4 times, you win twice, and you get your ass handed to you by JJ fucking Barea. All right? Like, that shit's embarrassing. Then he goes back to Cleveland. It's like, oh, but look at what Cleveland, the Cleveland was shit before he got back. Like, no. Okay, they had Kyrie Irving, who was becoming a fucking superstar himself. They had the number 1 pick in Andrew Wiggins, trade him to Minnesota for Kevin Love, a ready-made superstar yet again. Goes to the finals a number of times, wins 1 fucking title. Okay, yep, ran into Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. Because, hey, clearly a fucking far better team.
Well, and the only
And
reason
then-
that team existed is because he did the decision.
Yeah, and exactly. The only reason that Kevin Durant ends up joining the Warriors because LeBron did the decision and it said it's okay to go join other fucking superstars and join up with your buddies
And jack
to
them
win
off.
titles because you can't. Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Patrick Ewing, all these guys, they were all friends. Did they want to go and join each other's teams? No, they wanted to beat each other. Like Shaquille O'Neal came out and said a few years ago, had he known back then that it was okay to go up and team with other superstars, he would have signed with the Chicago Bulls instead of the Los Angeles Lakers so he could win championships. All right, so then he goes back to Cleveland. He's got the ready-made star of Kyrie Irving and the ready-made star of Kevin Love. You know, they get one title there. All right, then now he's had enough of Cleveland again. So he wants to go to Hollywood and try and fill the shoes of Kobe Bryant, mate. Kobe Bryant is he's the greatest. Even I struggle to say Kobe Bryant's the greatest Laker of all time, but I think Kobe Bryant is the greatest Laker of all time. Like 20 years of that franchise, 5 titles, you know, their all-time leading scorer, or yada, yada, yada. Okay, so he goes and joins a team that is not very good. They got, you know, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram. But guess what LeBron does after one season? What he does with every other fucking situation, he goes, trades their asses so he can bring in Anthony Davis, a ready-made superstar. This man cannot win a fucking thing without joining a ready-made superstar or superstars. So now he goes off to Philadelphia. Oh, it's all about winning another championship. It's not about the money. Okay, so he's proven it's not about the money. But he signed a vet minimum contract. Holy shit, who would have seen that? I generally did not see that coming. But hey, guess what's in Philadelphia? Ready-made superstars. And so now the question is on Twitter, on social media, if LeBron James wins a championship in Philadelphia, does he become the GOAT? No, he fucking doesn't. That argument ended in 2007 when he got his ass swept by the San Antonio Spurs. Then he had his ass swept again by Golden State. How many times is this? Fuck LeBron. Like the longer his career goes, the further, even for me, he falls down the greatest of all time standings. Like, give the shit up. You're not Michael Jordan. You're never going to be any near close to Michael Jordan. You're not even better than Kobe Bryant. But at this point, I'm now putting Magic Johnson back above you. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is back above you. Shit, at this rate, Wilt Chamberlain is going to be back above you. Fuck off. Just
James Worthy's going to be above him. James Worthy is going to be above him.
Oh, fuck yeah. Bill Russell back above him. Shaquille O'Neal back above him.
Thank you. That was a good use of the applause. That was a well done rant. I enjoyed it. Yeah, dude, I just asked the question so we could dunk on this guy because what a pussy. I mean, all time.
But people want to shit on Michael Jordan because he had Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen was a fucking rookie. He was a raw, skinny prospect.
He wasn't good for years.
He wasn't no ready-made superstar. Dennis, and he goes, he had Phil Jackson. The Bulls were Phil Jackson's first time as a head coach. He had never been a head coach in the NBA before. Also, Dennis Rodman, the guy was a fucking head case. No one wanted him.
Yeah,
the guy was ready to blow his own brains out.
Also, like, Scottie attributes a lot of his development to Michael.
Yep.
So I mean, it's a nothing argument. It's a nothing argument. It's made by, dude. It's recency bias. It's kids that grew up today. They want to believe they're watching the best ever. They don't know. They can't ever know. They'll never understand. LeBron has had a quarter of the impact that Michael Jordan had. You know, Michael also didn't need to suck his own dick as often as LeBron does to tell everybody that he's the greatest of all time. Tattoo the chosen one on himself. I mean, it's up there with tattooing humble on yourself. Are you really humble if you've got to tattoo it on yourself to say how humble you are? Like, I mean,
it's like, all right. So whenever Michael Jordan was asked about being the greatest player of all time, he did not want to go down that. He's like, no, that's disrespectful to those who came before him, to Jerry West, to Elgin Baylor, to all those guys, because he didn't get to compete against those guys. And then LeBron
Nobody's
hasn't
claimed
held
they're
up
the
the
greatest except
2016
him.
title. Like, sorry, Phil.
Nobody's claimed that they're the greatest of all time except for that guy.
Exactly. Like LeBron after that 2016 title, after coming down from 3-1 back, yes, which was a massive achievement. It was no one ever done that before. But to say that made you the greatest player of all time, fuck off.
You can't lose 6 NBA finals and be the greatest of all time. I'm sorry. You can't have a losing record in the finals. At best,
but like people going to like he won't. Sorry, Phil. I'm still ranting massively here because this shit gets my blood boiling sometimes. But like people want to go on about, but Michael Jordan never came back from 3-1 down. Yeah, because he never let his team get there in the fucking first place.
Yeah. He never went to Game 7. I mean, it's not even an argument, dude. It's really not. But there's so many people that slurp LeBron that it becomes an argument because they're all begging for it to be one. So it's crazy. Everyone ate on LeBron's watch. Nobody ate on Jordan's. Like it's that simple.
Everyone goes on about LeBron's era. No, it's Steph Curry's era.
Yeah, it is.
He's up there. Him and Duncan. I mean,
Steph changed the face of the NBA the way Michael Jordan changed the face of the NBA.
Yeah,
LeBron never changed the face of the NBA.
No.
If anything, he changed it for the worse by in creating the super team era and making flopping okay.
Yeah. Flopping. That's what he brought to the NBA. Flopping. And now you get young guys and kids flopping as well. This isn't soccer. It's bad enough it happens there. Flopping in the NBA needs to be absolutely eradicated.
Yeah. It's soft. It's so soft. And it never used to be a big issue until he started doing it. Because when the best player in the world is doing, he's not anymore the best player in the world, but at the time he was.
But he was.
When that guy is doing it, it makes it okay. And he's like on camera winking at his teammates after he gets away with a flop. I mean, it's disgusting behavior.
It is disgusting.
He's ruined the league. Like he ruined rivalries by inviting, oh yeah, you know what? We should hold hands together. All the best players, we should be holding hands and being friends. Why should we be rival? Yeah, it's lame. It's soft. And I have no problem with how he's top 10. But here, before we log off, I did want to address his question, but there is a problem with it. So I don't know if this is true.
Yes, it is true. Josh Giddey is the only player.
It says that I did chat GPT this. It says the Charlotte Hornets, their most expensive player is Naz Reid at $23 million. So I don't know if that's facts.
Oh, hang on. I've read the question wrong. My bad.
So I'm not entirely sure. So he says that the Bulls have $37.5 million under the tax. That's where we're wrong. The Bulls are capped out. They've spent all their money. I'm not sure where you found that.
I think we're up to the salary cap, not necessarily the tax line.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I think that's right as well. We're up to the cap, but we're not into the apron.
We're not over the cap. We're up to the cap. We're not over it.
If you go over the cap, though, isn't that the luxury tax?
No.
Yeah, it's the first apron, isn't it?
That's what I thought too. That's what he's saying. We're $43.5 million under the first apron.
Hey, I could be totally wrong, but I think you get to the salary cap and then you go over it, but then there's the luxury tax and then there's the first apron and I thought there was 3 levels to the tax.
There could be.
I think you have the salary cap. Yeah, this is when Hayes, where you at, brother?
Yeah, I'm not a salary cap wizard. I'll say that for sure. Well, I've got ChatGPT working it, but how much would I mean, I'll answer the question anyway. How much would I pay Duren? No,
we can't afford him anyway.
He's right on these numbers. So I mean, I would pay a descending deal at 33. I mean, I would probably do it, but like, I don't feel that's necessary. I also I'm a little bit, so I would be fine with that deal, but I also don't know if Jalen Duren's like worth that after watching him basically become half the player that he was all season in the playoffs.
you'd have to include a team option in the third year. You'd have to.
Yeah, I would feel more comfortable with that. If you paid him 2 years and then a team option, I would like that much better.
Yeah, I could live with that then. I'd be happy enough with that then. But it's too high risk because of the way he fell off already. I think it would be worth a punt because of how he played in the regular season. But I'd need to keep some sort of control over it by giving a team option in the third year.
I also don't think the Bulls will do it just because I don't think they acquired Nick Claxton to play him off the bench.
I don't know if you can flip him yet, but you'd have to include Nick Claxton in a deal to make the money work.
Yeah.
What do you mean to make him? I mean, it depends if they were okay with going over the cap. But I'm to my knowledge, the Bulls are not going to spend over the cap. Like that's what I thought we were all working with here.
No, they're not going into the luxury tax.
Certainly not this year, anyway. Not until they prove something.
We've generally been an over the cap team, like consistently. We will spend right below the first part of the luxury tax.
I agree. I disagree with your assessment that Claxton was a terrible transaction, man.
I do too.
But under Thiago Splitter, he played some of the best basketball of his career. He was playing in. I love that name, Dookie Shoes. What up, Dookie Shoes? My friend love, dude. That's great.
As long as you're not a Duke fan.
Nick Claxton was blocking 2.5 shots a game just a few years ago underneath Thiago Splitter. Like he's only 27. Like people are acting like he's 33. Why can't Nick Claxton turn back the clock and play better? He was in a rebuild or a freaking tanking, for playing for a tanking franchise for years, for a franchise that was actively not trying to win for multiple years in a row. I don't see why Nick Claxton isn't. Nick Claxton's never been with a passing point guard as good as Josh Giddey. I at least want to see a year of it before I punt on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he's awful this year, then fine. But I think there's plenty of reasons to believe that he could demand. All right, Howie.
Like Bryson Graham, right? When he was brought in because he was renowned for being good at scouting and selecting players in the draft, right? So why are we not going to at least believe in what he's bringing to the table in his first year until he's proven himself otherwise? I have full trust in what he's trying to create here until he shows me something where I can actually say, okay, I don't like what you did there, as opposed to I don't like what you're doing, because we haven't seen it in action to know yet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to start judging any of the moves that have been made until we see something on the floor at least. And I need to see that at least get to 20-25 games.
Yeah, and I also you don't think that Thiago Splitter had anything to do with acquiring Nick Claxton, Howie?
Of course.
Our head coach. You don't think our head coach signed off on that move? The guy, he coached him. You don't think he knows more about Nick Claxton than you or I? That's where I stand with it.
Yep.
I mean, if it fucking sucks, I'll change my mind. But we just got these guys in power. Like, let's see what they could do for a year before we start flying off the handle with our conclusions.
Right. And the other thing as well, right, is what we saw with AK, okay, was when something wasn't working, he did not react to it. He didn't make a decision to change what wasn't working. He just kind of stuck to his guns. I don't think we're going to get that with Bryson Graham. If he's made a bad move and it's not working out, watch him shift, watch him change lanes on it. And that's what I think is going to happen. That is going to be different, that we haven't seen in so long, that when it's not working, there will be decisions made that will try to rectify what isn't working, as opposed to just sitting on it until it cracks.
Facts. As far as Thibault, he's signed. He's on the Lakers now.
Yeah, that sucks.
I would like Thibault as well, but
Hurt my
he's a
feelings.
Laker.
Mhm.
We were pulling for Thibault last week. We talked about signing him, but unfortunately, he's now a Los Angeles Laker.
Yeah, and he would have automatically improved this team's defense. Like, we went through the stats last week, Phil. Like, in 16 minutes a game last year in those last 30 games, he was averaging 2 steals a game.
Yeah,
that dude's an elite defender. As long as he's healthy, that dude is an elite defender.
yeah.
I would have loved him in Chicago, like even in just a specialized role.
It feels like this offseason, everybody signed with the Lakers, the Sixers, or the Celtics too. They usually get who they want. It's frustrating.
The Sixers are giving bloody KCP now, so.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that what I'm most hopeful for is, like, I really hope Caleb Wilson has a great rookie year. It'd be awesome if he won Rookie of the Year. I don't know if that's possible, because I think like Memphis, like Cam's probably going to be the number one guy. I don't know if Caleb's going to be the number one guy here with Norman, but I would love it if he won Rookie of the Year, because I want Chicago to feel like a hot place to play again, and it hasn't felt like that for far too long.
Right.
So if Josh, Matas, and Caleb can all play very well this year, then at least they can maybe make the Bulls feel like an up and coming franchise, and that would hopefully increase our stock with free agents, because that's the other part that we as fans we always talk about who we want to sign, but the players got to want to come here too. For all I know, for all we know, like the players that we kind of wanted, they hit them up and they're like, "Fuck you." Like, we don't know.
Or Bryson Graham never even contacted Matisse Thybulle. So just because we wanted him players as fans doesn't necessarily mean that the organization even has any interest.
Facts. Trey Jones is a good defender at point guard.
Yeah, Trey Jones is a very good point of attack defender.
He's not tall, but he can defend.
Norman Powell would be able to do, but he's good at.
I've heard he's not a good defender.
No, I thought he was good at an on-ball defender.
Maybe I'll have to see it. I read some stuff online, but it could have just been from fan bases that for whatever reason have a grudge against him, and they just were shitting on him. Just some Reddit posts I've seen.
Pump the brakes, dude. It's summer league. Just chill. It's summer league, man. Chill. All right.
How you jumped to some conclusions, my friend.
Like, all three of us here wanted Cam Carr in the draft as well. I'm pretty sure all three of us wanted him.
We all had Carr.
And just don't jump to conclusions based on summer league, because Derrick Rose got his ass handed to him by Mario Chalmers in summer league, and look how he turned out. It's summer league.
I heard he did pretty good.
Yeah, man. Let's see how this year plays out, dude, because I think that we've got an intriguing starting lineup, and I think that we could be better than people are thinking. So I've got hope until I have reason not to think that. I mean, he also hired Tiago Splitter, who I thought was one of the, if not the best head coach on the market. It wasn't even thought he was going to be on the market because everyone thought Portland was going to pay him what he deserved. But
all right, 2 other things from Howie as well. I know the Dookie shoes. His contract is so competitive. Yeah, so that actually goes into response to Howie. So all right, so he points out that he traded away pick 36. No one was left on his board. All right, I might be under the belief that he was after like an Isaiah Evans or a Trevon Brazil or maybe Ryan Conwell maybe, and those guys were off the board before pick 36. There's no one left on the board. You trade the picks. It's the second round, big deal. Then re-signing Zach Collins from the old regime, he signed him to a 2-year, $8 million deal. That's it's a team option for the second season. $8 million. I wanted Jock Landale in free agency as well. He signed a $14 million deal. $14 million. I think, okay, while we've got our injury concerns on Zach Collins, $8 million annual average salary is not that bad at all. And yes, we did have him on our pre-draft lists. We wanted him at the number 15 pick.
Pretty sure
Henry
I had
Vassar.
Cam Carr 11th. I think I had him 11th.
I think it's Henry Vassar. Like, hey, I liked Henry Vassar. I would have liked him at pick 36 as well. But again,
Vassar was
Bryson Graham
reportedly
also-
making demands. Vassar was reportedly demanding that he was given a roster spot and was not signing a two-way deal. And so, I mean, if you're making those demands, then you can't expect. There's a reason that Vassar fell that far. But again, like, I'm not giving up on Dalen Swain. Swain was like 13 on my board. I thought he was a good player. So I did I like Cam Carr more? Yes, but clearly the NBA felt the kind of way because he fell to 24. So
yeah, exactly.
Again,
There's a reason why he fell to 24.
I'm just a bigger fan of letting things play out before I give them judgment, man. Like, I want to believe that Tiago Splitter and Bryson Graham have a plan. It's also year one of a rebuild. Like, this isn't the final product. So, I understand wanting to spend more, but we're going to have to, Michael Reinsdorf did say that he'll spend more for a playoff team. So this team's going to have to get better. I'm imagining we're a couple years away from delving into tax and shit like that. So I understand, though. We do appreciate all of your you said it because of Lakers rigging.
But you watch that draft process, though, you could see Cameron Carr was pissed. He was falling. He was not happy.
Yeah, he was.
So this wasn't like, there's some pre-organized thing where, okay, well, I'm going to the Lakers because they've made me a promise. But no, he was upset. He was falling so far.
Maybe Carr wasn't in on the rigging.
Yeah.
It's hard not to feel like the Lakers do rig shit, dude, because that Luka trade is fucking crazy. It always will be. That was a travesty against the NBA. But all right, you guys. I'm not just behind the scenes. So, Dookie Shoe said it too. Hey, man. Give me 20 minutes. Post it in the comments of the finished video, man. I like it. I dig it, dude. If you're on Twitter, then you could send it to me. VanDerHeydenPhil@gmail.com. It's easy to remember. Just send it to my Gmail. It's not VanDerHeyden Philip. It's VanDerHeydenPhil@gmail.com. Kareem will. All right, you guys. We actually made it to an hour, and that's a miracle because we really did not know what the fuck we were going to talk about today. So
before we do sign it off, though, Phil, I got something for you. Like, just to go back to the Bill Simmons thing. This is what Bill Simmons was doing. What Bulls fans should be doing.
Live action photo of Bill Simmons watching Caleb Wilson in Summer League.
Yep.
Hey, I mean, Howie, if you wanted to come on sometime, I'm sure we can make that happen. We have had Samity on before. I mean, if that's something you wanted, again, email me, VanDerHeydenPhil. You can find my name in the video description. But all right, you guys, everybody, thank you for being here. We'll try to if there's no news over the next week, we'll try to figure out some way to bring something more exciting to the show. Maybe we do some sort of rankings or something. This is the kind of year or the time of year where you have to really kind of fucking make content out of thin air. So we'll do it though. Fuck you.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Fuck LeBron.
Appreciate y'all. See Red, we love you guys. 3 continents, three hosts, one love, the Chicago Bulls. Peace out, my friends. Those who hopped in halfway, if you'd be so kind, please, you can rewind to the beginning and check out the whole show. And please, if you're here on YouTube, please leave a like on the video. It really helps. Thank you, guys. Love y'all. See Red, baby. See Red, bleed red to the deathbed. Bitch!
Let's go, Bulls.
Yo.